Hi friends, it's Dr. John and I'm here with Lourdes Colon. She's a recovering stage 4 Hodgkins Lymphoma patient. I started seeing her in February 2012. Lourdes, thank you for doing this interview with me. I really appreciate it.
Definitely, my pleasure.
And I will just briefly tell everybody that's looking at this video what your whole story, but like really brief. So,
okay.
so then we'll go on from there.
Oh, for sure. I was diagnosed with Hodgkins lymphoma in 2010 in September, and I knew immediately that I wanted to do everything naturally. And in the process of that, I wanted to show the world that how toxic the tests they do get, how it spreads cancer, how it does all these things. So I did a PT CAT scan, spread my cancer, things got really bad. Where anything I was doing wasn't working anymore. My lungs got really bad. I ended up with walking pneumonia. I ended up with an opening in the lung where fluid just kept going in. By then I could barely breathe, is when I met you. And the tumors were just everywhere. Mm-hmm. So by then I was at stage 4 Hodgkins lymphoma. And
but let me see, hold on, sorry. During that time, did you take any treatments, conventional treatments?
I didn't do conventional treatments.
Okay, at all? So,
no.
So basically the only thing that affected you was the radiation from the PET scan, CAT scan, and all those things.
Because the PT CAT scan is radioactive sugar. So, radiation already causes cancer, and, sugar is a buffet to cancer cells. So they combine the two, and the reason they even do that is just so that when they inject you and it goes into the system, they can tell what's cancer and what's not cancer, because when it goes in, if it's cancer, it'll start growing because it's eating it faster. A normal cell will not react like that. So they can then, now that they're spreading it, they can tell that that's the cancer and that's not cancer. And then, but meanwhile, even though they tell you that it'll come out of your system within 30 minutes, I'm proof that it does not get out of your system in 30 minutes. It actually keeps going, and the cancer just keeps growing. And that's what PT CAT scans do. People that get chemo, well then, they don't know it because they're feeling crappy already because they're getting the treatments, and they just think that all the process of all these things have to do with just the cancer and the chemo. What they don't realize is that part of it is those tests they keep making you do every couple months to stage you. Well, here you're getting rid of it, and then they give it to you, and then it grows again, and you're just in this battle. And that's why sometimes people metastasize and die anyway.
How were you able to figure that out? Like in regards to them giving you the test, how did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I came to that conclusion because I noticed that the very first time they did my first CAT scan, I'm very sensitive and very aware of my body. I have always been that way. And when they did the test, I'd go in there and I felt, crappy because I had cancer. Just was, had no energy, but I was pretty good. And then they would give me the test, and it was instant. I was like, oh, I could feel it going in, and I'm like, it's not that I'm feeling the stuff. I'm like, it's doing something. And then I noticed immediately that, because my cancer, because of Hodgkin's, it's in your lymphatic system, so it was noticeable. And because I had a tumor in my neck, it was noticeable. The moment I did the test, I noticed that it grew after the test. And then I had another test after that, and I noticed after that test that it got even bigger. So as long as I wasn't doing the test, it wasn't growing. The moment I did the test, it was instant. So it wasn't like after a while it grew. No, it was like that day they did the test, that day my cancer grew. So I got real knowledgeable about that, and I started finding out what is it that they do that's making it grow. And then I found out that it's radioactive sugar. Well, radioactive sugar, the whole point is to get it to stimulate and get the cancer going. Because sugar loves cancer, and even though they tell people, oh no, everything has sugar in it, it's like, no. Everything breaks down into a sugar because it's in its natural state. The body knows what to do with it. But when you get something that they made into a sugar, the body, it's very foreign to the body, and it does feed the cancer cells. So that's how I figured out that it was the sugar itself that was making the issue. And then I tested it out with myself as a guinea pig, and it did.
Since you left the hospital or being treated, what have you done with your life? What's going on? Like, first, let's start out with your normal day in regards to how are you taking care of yourself?
Oh, geez. I eat differently. I changed everything differently because I got that the reason why I got cancer in the first place was the bad eating, the bad nutrition, the lack of exercise, the meditation, the whole thing. It's like the whole physical, mental, and spiritual thing that really combines that. That's what makes us whole. So through my journey, I really learned that, meditation, taking time is really important. I knew that nutrition, and I mean organic. I don't like to put anything in my body that's not organic. because even if they say it's just that this got pesticides, you can take it off, maybe. But how do I know it's not GMO? Because now the way they're doing everything is GMO, and I've learned through my research that GMO actually causes cancer, and quickly. So I think that's why we see such a spread of cancer now all over the world. Well, not all over the world, especially in the U.S., because we're the ones that are all into the GMO. So I don't eat GMOs. I eat everything organic. I do a lot of juicing. I do a lot of tea, like black teas, green teas, a combination of different teas. Every morning, the very first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, after I brush my teeth, is I make a shake. And I make a shake from a cellular food. So I put the cellular Vita Shake in there with my Cali tea. So I make the tea, I put inside the tea the shake, the quinine, which feeds the 5 major organs, and then the Fortune Light, which detoxes out the cells from all the toxins. So I literally have one that does the inside of the cells, the other one does the outside of the cells, and the other ones feed everything. So I get to feed my body the very first thing in the morning, that it feeds over 100 trillion cells in your body, which is your body. So I literally learned that what I had to do was to stay healthy and feel the way I feel now, and not get any kind of illness, including cancer, is to be aware of what I'm putting in the body. So I eat very healthy. I stay away from anything that's not organic. I even toxic people. You know, we can love them, but if the conversations are toxic, and because when you start feeling good, it's a great thing. But when somebody says something and you just get this thing in your pit of your stomach or anywhere else, it's already affecting your cells. And and then you start stressing out. And the last thing you want to do, and I learned for myself, is when I start feeling stressed out, I'll take 3 deep breaths to release it, because I know that our body naturally goes into a fight or flight mode. And when it does that, it doesn't let the organs do its thing, because they have to stop, because it thinks you're in a flight or fight mode to try to save your life. So it doesn't know that it's just that you're stressed out about work or that person or what they said, or so stress is such a big part of your health that if you let that in, you are immediately know that you are affecting your health. So with time, it'll let you know that you really haven't done nothing about it. So that's what I do now. Now I meditate. I take deep breaths when I'm starting to stress out on a conversation. I cut them short. I change conversations when I see that it's not going in a way where it's not building neither one of us up. I just combine the whole thing: the nutrition, the exercise, the spiritual, and the mental.
Great. So, and then this is every day, right?
Every day.
Every day. So let's talk a little bit about what are your goals now? I mean, it seems like you've been given another life. I mean, we were talking earlier about how when you were a kid and also you almost died yourself, and now this is another situation where you were at that cliff, basically. And now you're healthy. What are your goals? What are you going to do with your life now?
Oh, geez. Well, I am an actress, so I continue to. I have 2 films that I'll be in soon. One of them I get to be the antagonist. Kind of cool. But with that, I'm doing my documentary to inspire the world, and I want to be an advocate about how we live and our health, and I want to be an advocate for people that are cancer patients. Right now, I actually get several emails daily from people all around the world that are fighting cancer, and some are choosing not to do chemo, and they'll tell me, "What did you do?" And I'll tell them that there's this cancer center that I call. Obviously, you notice how inbox you can say so and so has so I do that, and then I tell them things I'm doing myself and what I do daily, and I immediately tell them, stay away from sugar now. And I tell them, do probiotics while you're doing coffee enemas. That's crucial. And I tell them what it does and how it detoxes the liver. And I go through all these steps with these people. So it's the love I have for people, for humanity, it so extends, and each day it grows even bigger, and it's so amazing. It's like, oh, this feels great. To know that I'm making a difference with others. So my goal now is to, obviously continue my acting because that's what I love, but to never leave connection with the world, and to continually be an advocate and go around the world and speak about it and things that I have done and what really helps to fight cancer. To be the difference. My goal now in life is to be an inspiration to the world.
Great. That's so wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about your documentary. been hearing a lot about it. We were we saw a documentary a couple weeks ago in regards to tumor, cancer itself, and the health system, which was great. And then, I got to share with you where you are with the documentary. Tell us what's going on with that, and how people, once it comes out, how would they be able to see it? Let's say for someone that's in, Russia or Australia or somewhere in Europe somewhere, how would they be able to get a hold of that? I know it's going to come out here in the United States.
Yeah, well, when we complete the documentary, the goal is to get it globally, because that was my goal. It was to literally have it in every part of this planet, that no matter where you go, it's there. You can get it. So through the distribution, it will be national and international distribution. We're working towards to get it into theaters and into the DVDs, obviously film festivals, but to get it all